Hello, what's going on? It's Chris here, or Son of Saxon Son. This is the first video I think I've properly done for this channel. What? Oh. Hey. I'm using my phone because I'm not actually at my house right now, and I don't have a tripod or my usual camera or anything like that. But I'm super excited, and I thought I would share this video with you guys today because I've just bought my first soprano saxophone, and I wanted to share that moment with you guys, and also to create sort of a memory for myself of what this is. So, is that really what I look like? Jesus Christ. A little bit of context for you. I sort of have only ever played alto or tenor, and I bought a tenor secondhand back in July, and I really enjoyed it, but sort of was edging more towards alto anyway. And then I was at the RNCM saxophone day a couple of weeks ago, and I played on a soprano for the very first time, and you know that feeling you get that you can't really explain when something just feels so right and feels so good, and that's not sounding like what I want it to sound like. I tried the Trevor James The Horn 88 soprano sax at the John Packer stall at the event, and it was amazing. It had an Otto-Link mouthpiece, it was a 2 Van Doren reed. It just was sort of the perfect configuration for me, and I realised that the local music shop where I live, it's called Forsyth, had one second hand for a pretty good price actually. So I went in and we sort of struck a deal. I would trade in my Trevor James The Horn 88 tenor, which you might have seen before in one of my earlier videos, and get sort of a part trading deal on a soprano. Now I tried their second hand, the Horn 88 soprano, and I didn't love it. It also had a lot of aesthetic issues with it, so a couple of scratches, and it was in pretty good shape, but I just didn't love it, and some of the pads in the lower register felt a little bit shaky. So I tried a different Trevor James soprano. This is just the Horn soprano, and it's quite a significant amount cheaper, and I found it a bit more free blowing. I also got a new mouthpiece for it. I got the Van Doren A15, which has a tip opening of 1.23 millimeters, and just gave it a blow, and I found it incredible. And well, that's what we have right here, fresh off the press and ready to go. My arm was getting tired, so I've moved. I did trade down. The tenor is worth quite a lot more than this individual saxophone, but I bought it second hand, so it was almost third hand. It was in pretty good shape. It did have a dent on the bottom, so I think I negotiated a pretty good price considering they're going to have to go and service it and make sure it's ready to sell, and then the hard task is selling it. Don't know about you guys, but recently I've been trying to sell instruments, and you know, this time last year they would fly out of my little business. They would go, and people would pay, you know, in my opinion, what the instruments are worth. Nowadays it's not quite as easy, so what can you do? It's just the way of the world, and it's a bad time to be buying and selling second-hand instruments. So I thought I would sort of just pass the tenor. It was in a Gear for Music gig bag as well, so the fact that I managed to sell it at all, I think, is incredible, so that's worth mentioning. But anyway, the saxophone itself. Now, I've already played this, so the surprise of opening it and playing it is gone. So I don't know what the point of this video is, I'm just excited. So this is the mouthpiece. Like I said, it's a Van Doren V5 S15. I thought it sounded pretty good. It has quite a dark sound to it, and it is a sort of a classical sounding mouthpiece, I would say. It's quite bright. That's not right. It's not bright because it's a soprano, but yo, I'm editing this and I realise I say it's bright and then I say it's not bright. Let me clarify. The sound of the soprano is bright regardless of mouthpiece. So when I said it's bright, I was referring to the sound of the soprano, not the sound that the mouthpiece is producing, because that is actually quite dark, and I think I'll go into that in a minute anyway. Thought I'd clear that up. Alright, cheers. It's got quite a lot of depth to it, which I like. Some mouthpieces that I've tried not necessarily on soprano, but they sound extremely in your face. So I kind of like the sound of it being a bit more subdued and a bit more, not muffled, but a bit darker, and it feels like it has a bit more breadth. Let's go with breadth. What else? They very kindly swapped out a 1.5 reed for a 2.5 reed, so I now own 2 soprano saxophone reeds. And then instrument info and whatever. Good to keep, just in case I try and sell this for a loss at some point in the future. And then the saxophone itself, which I'm gonna open and then reveal to you guys in just a second. So, come with me. Can I turn this around while I'm filming? I think I just took a picture of myself. How do I do this? Voila! Here is Mr. Soprano Saxophono. So, it comes with its very own mouthpiece. In my experience of Trevor James mouthpieces, they're usually pretty diabolical. But we could give this a go. This is the only ligature I have, so I'm going to be putting a lot of trust in that for now. And perhaps in the future, upgrading, depending on how this sounds, and that's not going back in now, so that's good. And we have the option of 2 necks. So when I tested it, I tried it on the slightly curved neck. I did find it quite comfortable, but I have to admit, when I was trying the Horn 88, I did like the sort of feeling of where my fingers were and sort of where the saxophone sat when I was playing with the straight instrument. So I'll probably be making the most use out of that one, but it's good to know I have a backup just in case. What else do we have? We have another neck strap. We have a polishing cloth, some Silica gel, always good to have that, and a Rico Royal 1.5. So we now have 1.5, 2, and 2.5. So definitely gonna find something in there that works. So that's great. And the saxophone. How am I gonna do this now? All right, I'm back and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to need a few things, I guess. I'm going to need the mouthpiece, which is very important. I was playing this in the shop on the floor with customers walking around, listening to this guitar in the background, so I hope this isn't a case of I find out this actually sounds like absolute shit now that I've got it home. So in any case, let's try it with the straight neck, as that will be an entirely new experience for me. Needs some grease, and I do not have any grease. That's not good. Okay, I do not want to damage this in any way, shape or form, but let's... that does not feel right, so I'm going to take that off and do the other one. Oh, Scheiße, Christ, that was... I bet, I wasn't looking, but I bet I had a double chin doing that. I absolutely am sure of it. Alright, that's much easier. So I'm gonna have to apply some serious lubricant to the other neck before I do anything with that. I know a ligature is just meant to hold your instrument in place. I know that's all it's there for, but when there's 2 screws, I just cannot help but be a bit suspicious of it. So we're definitely going to be replacing that at some point. Oh, perfect. So my ligature has immediately scratched the Van Doren sign off the mouthpiece. Oh well, I suppose it's not that important. Right. Having some technical difficulties with the ligature. It is pretty much as wide as I can get it. This literally cannot get any wider. What am I doing wrong here? The screws are entirely out, and that just about works. You know what it is? It's that the ligature does not fit the mouthpiece. I've just scratched my nice mouthpiece for no reason. We have a much slimmer Trevor James mouthpiece here. Could have thought of that. Oh well. So I suppose we are testing the Trevor James mouthpiece on there like butter. I mean, I don't love this. I've played on like my altos are Trevor James, as was the tenor, and I rate the sax, I really do, but their mouthpieces are not known for being the best. which is why I immediately went for a Van Doren, because I know they're very reliable and I really like the way they sound. This 4 minutes in and all I've done is piss about with the ligature. I mean, lucky for you, this will all be edited out. That's quite a nice sound. My first woodwind instrument was clarinet. I always opt for squeezing rather than loosening up, and I had a big problem with that on tenor, in that I would squeeze a lot, and it really didn't do me any favors because I would always leap the octave. Even on soprano, I still need to sort of relax a little bit. That was flat. That was really freaking flat. Okay. So that's another problem that I think I'm going to have with this as I adapt, is I feel like with alto and tenor, intonation is very, very important, of course, and if you're out of tune, you're out of tune. But I found that with the more relaxed embouchure, having that sort of tendency to bite a little bit has made it a lot easier to control my tuning, whereas that, I'm already squeezing to sort of get the reed to vibrate, but if I'm flat, I've got to squeeze a bit more to sharpen it up. What's happening there? Not enough air, or squeezing too hard. So it's definitely a matter of a combination of I'm squeezing too hard even down on the E, and I should really put the neck strap on actually, because my wrist is taking a lot of the weight. Okay, this feels extremely cheap. Like a £700 instrument, which I guess in some respects is quite cheap, but I'm also not sure what is happening with the mouthpiece. I wasn't having any issues getting the lower notes out in the shop, so that E, I wonder if the tip opening, I don't know. I don't think the S15 is particularly open, so I think the squeeze is definitely something to watch with this particular mouthpiece. Let's try a bit higher up. I was going to say, that doesn't sound like a D. When I played the soprano at the sax day, I will admit I had a very hard time getting anything above the C sharp. Oh, another interesting thing about this is the F sharp key is split into two. So the bottom of the two lifts just the one, the other lifts both. And I can't play high enough to get up there and discover what it is, but I suspect it's an F sharp and maybe a G. I can't see why it would be anything else, but if that is a high G, that would be great, because then I can play the Mario Kart lick a bit easier. Speaking of, not a chance. mean, I think for the second time ever playing soprano, as in second day ever, on this random mouthpiece with a ligature that doesn't fit. I went into the shop and I said I need a mouthpiece, a ligature and a soprano. Here's a tenner. And at the end she said, oh, it comes with a ligature, you might as well just keep that one. Little did I know, this bad boy is quite chunky, he's quite thick, and this thin boy ain't quite gonna cut it. So for now I'm stuck on the £10, £20 mouthpiece, and we'll come back for this now scratched but just as good, just as playable S15. So yeah, I'm just really want to get stuck in, which I'm quite peeved about this ligature because I really want to just get going on that mouthpiece, and I definitely need to get the corks greased up because it's feeling very, very tight at the moment, and I do want to play it on the straight neck just to see what it's like. I'm sure it'll be great. Yeah, and I think that's everything I've got to say. I mean, I could keep on playing stuff. I don't think it's going to sound any different or any better. I do love the vibrato on this. I said I was going to stop, but I love the vibrato. Am I playing a D? It's just incredibly out of tune because it's me. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a challenge. I don't by any means think I'm going to be incredible at this after playing once or twice, but I am pleased with how I sound so far anyway, and yeah, I think I'm going to just stick with it really. It's the first instrument. I mean, when I picked up the alto for the first time, it was like sorry. When I picked up the alto for the first time, it was really good. It was really fun, and as you know, maybe Sax and Son, it's me and my dad currently. So my dad plays saxophone. He has a Selma, which I'm very jealous of. But yeah, it's I really liked playing with him for the first time, and it was a great time. What the fuck? Just trying to figure out. Oh, that's what that button does. I was thinking, what is this sticky up thing here? But it's the what is it? It's the B that holds down the C sharp, because you can't have that open, it just doesn't work. Right, this has been all over the place. I'm gonna have a right job editing this. But I'm excited, I really am. I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be good fun. And yeah, I'm gonna give this a quick clean actually, because I've been spitting in it like nobody's business. Oh my gosh, the holes are so small. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm just having played on alto, just exploring what the buttons do, and it's fun. This is good fun. I'm looking forward to playing this a lot. I think it'll be great. Isn't it fast? It's such a fascinating instrument. Anyway, that's it. I think I'm gonna put this away and stop annoying the neighbours. So thanks for watching. This has been a blast so far. Really enjoyed it. And hopefully you have too, and yeah, I'll be back when I have a better ligature and the mouthpiece I actually want to play on, so that's great, and I'll see you. Bye.